So, welcome back to Three's In. This one day, Mikey and I were sitting around talking, who knows where, who knows when. We shared so much between us, can't pinpoint hardly anything. But at any rate, the story involves his first flight in a jet aircraft, which happened to be an F-104. And it occurred in 1969, we think, between his junior and senior year at the Air Force Academy during the third lieutenant program where they'd farm the cadets out to various bases. And Mikey just happened to land at Kirtland where they had F-104 stationed. Now, we think the F-104 mission at the time at Kirtland was atmospheric sampling from of Soviet nuclear tests. The results would get picked up by the high altitude winds and floated throughout the world, and these F-104s would go up and take air samples to be analyzed. At least that's what we think the mission was. But be that as it may, Mikey gets his ride one day, and he's flying with this crusty old major, salt of the earth type of guy, the type of guy that knows how the cow eats the cabbage. Great guys to have in the unit. So Mike goes out, gets in the back seat, and off they go. And he said they went up pretty darn high. I asked him how high, and he said he wasn't sure, but he said it was very high. So they're up there doing their thing, and then they drop back down and start flying low level a bit. Well, they're coming back to the base, and they're heading for this town, Carrizozo, New Mexico. I had to look it up, and Google reflects it has a population today of 996. Who knows what it would have been like in 1969. At any rate, they're coming up toward the town. They're low level. They're going pretty fast. And this major tells Mike, you might want to check that you're strapped in. Mike says, okay. So he straps in and makes sure his shoulder harnesses are tight and whatnot. And as they approach the edge of town, there's just one road through Carrizozo. It's called Main Street, I guess. And as they hit the, don't even know if I want to call them city limits, town limits, the guy pulls the nose up, rolls inverted, and flies down the center of Main Street, going the speed of heat. And as they get about the middle of town, the guy reaches up, flips everybody off as he's heading down Main Street. Gets to the other end of town, rolls wings level, and off they go. Mike thinks to himself, well, that was kind of interesting. Doesn't say much about it. But this major takes it upon himself. He says, I suppose you're wondering what that was all about. Mike says, yeah, I guess it was. The major kind of chuckled. He says, a while back, he says, I was coming back to the base, and he says, I was going through that little town. He says, local sheriff pulled me over and gave me a speeding ticket. And I thought to myself, really? But sure enough, he gave me a speeding ticket, and he says, that's been eating at me ever since. And he says, if they wanted to see speed, I was going to take it upon myself to show them what speed was really like. And so he says, today I did. And they chuckled about it, I guess, all the way back. Anyway, by and large, 68, 69, we didn't have very good radar coverage, especially low level in areas like that. So you could get away with things like that. I don't think you could today. But anyway, the things we did, the fun we had in those days. Nice to see you, buddy.